It is a pleasure to be talking to you about the trends I see that the whole coaching profession globally needs to step up to. The first I would mention is, like Uber and Airbnb, the coaching profession has also been disintermediated. A lot of what we were doing when I was first a coach 40 years ago no longer is what coaching can do. So we used to be doing a lot of outsourced, difficult conversations that managers weren't having themselves. Now that has been re-insourced. Now those conversations we're training managers to have directly. Secondly, a lot of what we used to do to enable people to discover what they already knew and to find out their own truth, that can be done by artificial intelligence and computers, even better than coaches. So we need to be thinking, what is it we as human coaches can do that AI and managers can't? And that means we need to move to a new form of coaching, which is about collaborative inquiry with the client. Seeing them as our coaching partner, not our client, not being on their agenda or our agenda, but on life's agenda. The second key trend is that we are facing an enormous ecological and climate crisis. This isn't something that's in the future, it's already happening. As Gregory Bateson said, unless we can shift the whole way human beings think and behave, a real shift in our consciousness, we don't have a snowball in hell's chance of avoiding climate catastrophe and climate extinction. And he was saying that in the 1960s. So we have to realize as coaches, we are in a much bigger calling. How do we shift human consciousness globally so that human beings are future fit to be able to live on this earth and not become extinct?
Presentation, I appreciate it. I'd like to talk about 3 different opportunities for the future. And the first of those is coaching platforms. I believe that these will be going mainstream, and they will offer 3 basic elements. The first is the digital tools that they offer today in terms of resources for the clients, tools for coaches to take notes, and so forth. The second thing that they will offer is a cadre of coaches so that organizations can have access to a number of coaches and the clients within the organization can have access to those coaches. The third element that the platforms will offer will be AI or artificial intelligence coaching. I believe this will be the entry point for coaching in a lot of organizations and for individuals. So that'll kind of be the basic level that they would offer. The second aspect of what I think is going to be happening in the future is a broader use of coaching skills in society. If we look at the evolution of coaching, we see that it began with a one-to-one relationship where coaches worked with clients individually. It has evolved to team coaching, group coaching, and a lot of different ways that coaching skills are used within organizations or in communities. What I believe is that will happen is that these coaching skills will be used more broadly. We're also seeing them used by managers and leaders in a lot of their conversations with people in the organizations. The third thing I want to talk about is the research. So much like how you can work with taking your coaching skills out more broadly, we can look at the research that will be done in the future. And one of these is with the relationship. I believe that while there has been a lot of work done with how important the relationship is in coaching and positive outcomes, I think it needs to be a little bit more nuanced, that actually the relationship element, it's just about helping the client to feel safe, to be able to talk about their goals and what's going on in their lives and what they want to work on. The second part of research that I believe that will be important is this idea of what we call blended coaching. And with the ICF core competencies, we have somewhat of a sort of what I call a pure coaching model, where there's very little of giving out advice or best practices. But that can be done, and it can be done as long as there's not attachment to it. It can be a suggestion, it can be an offering. And if we look at the future and we look at how can we be more effective as coaches, there may be times when that's necessary and it is more effective.
One, in my opinion, is the development of more micro credentials or specialty credentials or specialty certifications. ICF, we just released our team coaching certification, and I think that there are going to be more of those. And it's good because that allows an individual to develop their skills and particular attachment to certain modality in coaching, and therefore they may be able to offer their services in more precise way, if you will. My other point will be going into the coaching in organizations. And this is a little bit along the lines of specialty credentials, because of course, we do have a PRISM award that recognizes organizations that have strong coaching cultures. But I think that there is only one or two organizations that can win PRISM, right? So I think that perhaps we're going to see some push towards recognizing organizations with strong coaching cultures or willing to build coaching cultures with almost like a seal of approval, so an organization will say, yes, we are recognized by ICF for making every effort to be a organization embracing coaching and using coaching as a strategy for our growth and development. And finally, my third point will be that, well, coaching emerged from other disciplines like psychology, psychiatry, medicine. And I think that we have a lot to gain from being close with other professions that are close to coaching. May it be mindfulness, may it be change management, may it be something else that perhaps is still to emerge. And we as coaches can learn from that and add it to the toolkit that we use. And conversely, our colleagues from those other professions may use coaching or coaching approach as means for them being more effective working with their clients and stakeholders. So that's what I see on the horizon.